going on, everybody? I-84 here, Wicked Explorers, GrandSaturday.com. We are at Boston Logan Airport here. I know I'm dressed like I'm going to a Patriots game, which I'm actually not. I'm celebrating them being in the Super Bowl. We're actually heading down to Tampa right now. Me, Uncle Eric, Little Joe, the new characters of this program, if you will. And we are going to the Bruins to play outside in the Stadium Series in Tampa. So it should be a good time. Stay tuned. We're going to have a blast going through security right now. See how that goes. Made it through security. I had a lot of electronics on me this time. Usually, they dig it out, but it was nice. This is the first time I'm flying. I don't have to take my shoes off. Phenomenal. It's a game changer right there. But we're in Terminal A, so we're going to walk to that long tunnel to the other side under the runway. I have to say, people are digging the outfit. I mean, this is a pretty snazzy blazer here. Pretty sure this thing's like 100% polyester, so if I'm too close to a flame, I'll go up like the Human Torch. Probably melt, turn the glue. Guy, the trip is already here. He's at the Bruins bar, so we're gonna go find him. And then wait for Little Joe. And we'll go and go to the Delta, go find Uncle Eric sitting at the bar. I'm gonna sneak up next to him. He's gonna be very annoyed, A, by my outfit, and B, that I have a camera on me. And I can't be more excited about it. What's up, hot stuff?
What?
All right, we made it to Tampa. Security's here.
26 Stadium
That's
Series.
right. Danger powers. All right, we're gonna head to the rental car. Ground transportation. Go this way. I'm a big fan of ground transportation. Maybe you're more of a St. Pete's kind of guy. It's not even the rainy season. It's raining. Look at that.
We are approaching the main terminal and Airport Marriott Hotel. Please follow signs for rental cars, baggage claim, and ground transportation. Uber and Lyft.
Look at that.
Wasn't that whole thing I said?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why, you want to repeat it?
No,
just in case? Joe, they have outdoor seating for the PF Chang's too. Look at that Stadium Series right there.
It'll be 60 Monday.
There we go. Boo!
No, that's okay. Hi. Hi. Wants to go? I did a whole trip. Yeah, all the way.
Para final, tienen que cortar fácil.
Well, you wouldn't have guessed it, but we're in Florida. It's a balmy 45 degrees. It's windy. It's cloudy. It looked like it just recently rained. It's a bit damp. We had to pack like we're going to a Patriots game in Gillette. They had a cover on the ice today at the stadium. The rain, I guess. Guess so. This won't get frostbite. I got my electric hand warmers just in case. We'll put those in my pants. That's gonna be nice. Woo, woo, baby.
Oh,
People,
nice job.
do you know how many people asked me if I was going to the Super Bowl for my attire? Look at the longest light ever. We just need to get over there. Right there. We just gotta go right there. There should be like a flyover here, but I guess most people don't walk from the airport, huh? So I guess very why they don't. I have a death certificate on my desk at work. So we got a nice upgrade for the room here. We got, of course, it's just standard town suites here with the kitchen and everything. But let me show you what we got here. We got not just one bedroom. Eric Danger Powers over here. Man, I'm going to share a bed because that's the only way to do it. We got another bedroom. Nice big bathroom. It's maybe we'll have a balcony. That would be nice. Or walking distance from everything. There we go. A little stormy outside. It's bigger than most apartments in Boston. Right? Joe, anything you want to say to the
Listen.
84 universe?
Listen, Uber City 2026.
Ybor City.
Ybor City.
Uber City.
Whatever the fuck this guy is.
Uber City.
Ybor City.
It's a home
20
of Uber.
2026 where it's at. Stadium Series. Bruins, I'd say 4-1 tomorrow.
Ooh, I think it's a bold.
Yeah, Bruins 4-1. Gonna be 2 quick goals.
Okay.
At the end of the game, and yeah.
This is actually going to work for the Bruins' advantage because I think the fact that it's going to be cold is going to be a lot better.
Facts.
Right? Because, like, you know.
Facts.
I know, most of them are Canadian anyways, right?
Fan base, we're gonna be rough and rowdy.
It's gonna feel like a hockey.
It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of Let's Go Bruins. It
It's going to
is.
feel like a winter classic.
It is. It is. In West Florida.
Yes.
Correct. With the high tomorrow, 47 degrees.
Imagine that?
Hey, great ice conditions. You know.
Yes, the ice won't melt.
You're not gonna have to worry about the sun. You're not gonna have to worry about sloppy play around the boards. It's just pucks end to end tomorrow. Pucks on net. That's it. You just gotta
I agree. Whatever Joe said works. We had music video. This looks a little wild for us, right? Eric's got us an Uber. How do we, Eric, we can't cross this line. No, we got to go around.
You're at that.
Unless we're going to the Zodiac. Are we going clubbing? No. This place is like the Wild West.
Wild South.
We're going to make it, you think?
Suddenly appeared. It said 5 minutes.
Those girls must be freezing. There's a girl in a wheelchair. Wild. All right. So we're at a point where people are just in wheelchairs, just rolling around. We might be a little too. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Thanks. This place is too crazy for us. We gotta get out of here. I'm an extreme individual, but this is.
Where the fuck are you going right here? Where is it?
Do we have a black car?
No.
Yeah, trusting Eric here getting back from Ybor City.
That's not white.
You sure this is the license plate match? I don't want to be. Look at the license plate. That's how we die. All right, and here is where everything got messed up. Okay, so after we edited it, I put it up online, and for some reason it didn't take. So I had put it on my other site and loaded it up, and it did take. So I assumed it was 100%. I didn't check to make sure everything was perfect with it. Well, it wasn't. So I have to do a voiceover now because audio for the last half of this video is gone. That's great. So what you just seen right there was me walking into the hotel room at 3 o'clock in the morning. Basically decided it was a good idea to use the loudspeaker and you know, start screaming and everything. So this is the next morning. We wake up and I come down to the pool. That's steam coming off the pool because I guess it's a heated pool and it was 30 something degrees outside. So here I am just talking to everyone, telling everyone that, hey, I'm just got my jersey on, having a beer. It's early in the morning. I'm gonna start this day off. Now this is the day of the game, the Stadium Series game. And we pretty much had a lot of gear on because we knew it was gonna be cold. Joe right there to the left of me doesn't have a ticket yet. So I'm taking Eric, the other guy on the other side. We got tickets to the game. We're meeting one of Eric's buddies who lives in the Tampa area. And we figured, you know, this would be cool. We go hang out. And he's going to the game too. So Joe was going to try to scalp a ticket at some point and see how it goes. So I'm just kind of bullshitting to the camera right now about our plans. We had a World of Beers that was like right next to the stadium. I mean, right next to our hotel, which was actually really great because we were able to go over there. And that was kind of our meetup point when we were starting the 2 days we were down there. So we went to this place called Hat Tricks. It's in downtown Tampa. It's kind of near the Layton's actual arena. And I've never been there before. It's a very nice, cool, hockey-themed bar. And Eric's buddy took us over there because he's you know, a new regular at this place. You know, he lives down in this area. And it was really, really cool. There's a lot of Bruins fans there. If you can see by the video right here, it's really cool. It's like tons of hockey stuff from back in the day. And, you know, it's weird because you wouldn't consider Florida being a hockey town, but to be honest with you, they got a handful of championships for the Lightning. And I gotta tell you, people turn out to go to this this team, to watch this team play. It's pretty impressive. But here we are right now. We're taking a ride down to the stadium at this point. We're gonna park over near Chili's that's near there. That you might have seen me from my video prior when I was videotaping from back in the day when I did the 24 hours in Tampa. But here we are walking from the Chili's to the stadium right now, and we're all just kind of hanging out and chilling. We're making our way there. It was pretty cool because everything in that area is kind of pretty much walking distance. Even from our hotel, it was like a half hour, 45-minute walk. It wasn't terrible, but we got our rides, which is very nice, and we appreciated it. So it helped out a little bit too. So this main street right here is a bunch of restaurants and bars, and it's actually right across the street from where the Tampa Bay Rays played their season last year, which is also where the New York Yankees have their spring training facility. And this is where I really get bummed out that I missed all the audio for some reason, didn't compile into the video. In case you're wondering, I use an Osmo 3, which I knew for a fact the video was recorded because I was able to load it to my phone and I was able to share it on social media and stuff. So I know it wasn't the camera not recording because I remember hearing this audio at some point. I don't know if I screwed up in the editing process where I accidentally muted something, or when it was being compiled and brought online there was an error. I have no idea. It's very weird because it's just the audio of the video that's not showing up, and it's all the sound effects and stuff and the background music were showing up. So I don't know. I think there was a compression issue, or I'm using an old iPhone to edit, which is probably not the best source for editing right now. But if you wonder what we're talking about right now, we're just bullshitting about the weather, hockey, the walk, the day so far. It was a pretty cool day. It was really, really fun. And it really bums me that all the audio is gone. At least I got the video at the end of the day. Because I would have been bummed if I lost all the video too. But we have all the audio. And it seems like at this point we just keep on walking and walking and walking. It was a pretty good, decent walk from the corner where we started. And I think we were just talking about all the fans down here and how cool it is to go to a hockey game in Tampa, but kind of odd that the weather is so bad and so cold, and you expect it to be nice and warm, you're wearing shorts and everything like that, but here we are just chomping along here, enjoying ourselves. But what are you gonna do? It was a good weekend, and it's kind of bummed out that half the audio. I know I keep saying this, and it's really, really annoying because this is very unlike me when I come to editing. Usually everything's pretty good. And it just was just the way I was editing all this stuff. It was just my own fault. I should just bring it on the computer and do it. But I took a shortcut and I lost all the audio. And then when I went to go see if I still had the video on the camera, of course I deleted it because I've been working on other projects since. But a lot of this you've seen from the video of 24 Hours in Tampa. It's the same stadium, so you're not gonna really miss anything out of the audio. You're just gonna miss like the sounds of the hockey and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of bullshitting to the camera here. I'm going around, walking up the ramp. When you walk in, you walk up to a ramp and you get up to like the middle area, and that's pretty much where we ended up staying for the duration of the game. And it was cool. It was a good time. Views are awesome from where our standpoint is, and like that's right there. These are all the Boston fans, probably selling "Let's Go Bruins," all that stuff was going on. A lot of people made the trek down, which is cool. So here we are coming out. This is like and basically this is where we ended up staying for the majority of the game. So this is the end zone of the football stadium. You can see it kind of looks out. It's a really good spot to watch a football game, and the hockey was even better. We weren't going to even try to attempt to go up to the upper level of the stadium. The winds were crazy. It was too cold. It just would have been nuts. So this area was cool. We were able to kind of maneuver our way into an area in which I guess you needed special tickets for it, which we didn't have, but no one was stopping us, and we were kind of just being cool about it, and no one bothered us. And we made some friends along the way, which worked out nice. And it's always good. Just be nice. You know what I mean? If you know you're not supposed to be doing something, just don't be an asshole about it. You can go a long way of just being chill, And the views were awesome, like looking at the field and all that stuff, and so everything about the whole situation was nice. They did a very good job. It didn't look like a football field with a hockey ring just splashed into the middle of it. They decorated it. They made it look like it was something really cool. The Bruins all came in dressed as Patriots because, of course, this is the Patriots the weekend before the Super Bowl. Patriots are in, so they're celebrating. The sound was incredible. This area was awesome because it was cool because we're across from the pirate ship, because you can see the pirate ship in the background, which they use for a football game. And they do this thing before Lightning games, which I think this is what they do in Bucks games, because it makes more sense at Bucks games. So I think they do this whole ceremony and they kind of incorporate it into hockey and they mixed it up a little bit. If anyone's ever seen a Bucks game, let me know. But they did a really good job mixing the match and everything. The guys going out there skating and stuff. This location was cool too because there was like a bar literally behind us and a bathroom literally behind us. So a good place to stay, get warm, go to the bathroom, have a drink and everything like that. And like you see right there, like all that area they filled in. They made like a big giant treasure map and make it like it was a really nice touch. And it was actually cool because they were taking on the Buccaneers, a pirate persona. And here we are, the Bruins taking on the Patriots persona. It was kind of like old days, discovering of the country type stuff, So I thought it was a really, really good move. The NHL seems to do a very good job when it comes to doing stuff like that. I know when they did the Winter Classic in Boston, all the Bruins players dressed up as the old school Red Sox players, which was really, really cool. So hats off to the NHL and the Bruins and all those organizations for really taking the step and really making these situations awesome, It's just unfortunate. Like there's just music playing and stuff, and probably a lot of it would have been copyrighted anyways. And I really don't know what happened. I know I'm like really, really bumming out about this. I spent the whole morning today trying to figure out if I can recover any of the video, and it's not there. I just don't know where it is. So. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? But at least at least get the video so you can kind of see a visual of what's going on anyways. And you don't want to hear my voice yapping in the back, half drunk, screaming and yelling at the situation anyway. So I'm probably doing you a favor of just not being 100% what it's supposed to be. I like these stadium series a lot because I think they bring people who may not watch a lot of hockey into hockey. It also makes it a little more interesting because I guess when you talk about hockey in an arena, all the arenas and rinks all look the same at the end of the day, right? You really can't do anything. It's not like baseball or football. We can kind of make cool stuff in the stadium and everything. You're just playing in a giant oversized hall when you're playing hockey and basketball and stuff. So when you do these outdoor things and you really bring another element, and a lot of these guys who play hockey in the NHL grew up doing pond hockey back in the day. So it's kind of also brings another cool little element to them, like growing up and like how they used to play back in the day, which I think is really, really cool. And a lot of these guys are young, so they're not too far removed from those days of playing. But here's the opening ceremonies of the guys coming in and walking onto the ice and everything. And it was really cool. They had some music playing, and it was a badass situation. And it was really getting you pumped up for the day and all that good stuff, you know. It was just a great day of hockey. You know, despite the cold, who cares? The weather was not very cooperative, but at the end of the day, we made the best of the situation. And I know I had a blast. I know the boys had a blast too. It was just an overall great experience, you know. And that's all I really could ask for in a situation like this, you know. So a lot of this is just like opening ceremony stuff. And if you've been to Lightning games and Buck games, it's probably very, very similar. Fireworks going off. Yeah, there's a lot going right before the game started. Once the game started, we didn't film too much because, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's just the sound and all of everything that went along with it was just really, really cool. And unfortunately, it is lost forever. I tried to think of ways that could have been backed up onto the cloud and stuff like that, but then I deleted stuff. And of course, when my phone decides it wants to back up stuff, you know, that's when, of course, I don't need this. That's the stuff that I already deleted, right? Any other day, it would be sitting there for 2 weeks after the trip, hanging out, and I would be like, oh, why can't this stuff just go away? And when I don't want it to go away, it goes away. So what else is new? So at this point, we had contact Joe. We had met these kids we were talking to, and you'll see them shortly in this video. And they had talked to some guy that was able to sneak them in, which was pretty cool. And they gave us the number of the guy that they talked to. So we had gave it to our buddy Joe. Like, hey, contact this guy. He's somehow can get people in. We're not sure the legality of it, you know, what's going to happen. But he is somehow working his magic, getting people into the stadium and working for these kids. And so we texted him. He said he texted the guy, see what was up. And then the guy never got back to him until basically the next day. And which is pretty funny. He's like, oh, what game are you trying to get into? Which I thought was the funniest thing that the guy had said to him. And I go, is that guy for real? But urgency, I guess, wasn't his top priority. So what you gonna do? Yeah, like, I know a lot of this stuff is probably just redundant. Just, you know, we're still here. I mean, the game hasn't even started yet. And I'm just videotaping a lot of it because it was really, really cool. It's the national anthem. Just the whole way they done the whole presentation was awesome. And, you know, hockey in Florida. Who the hell knew? If you told me that 10 years ago, I'd be like, you're out of your mind. It would be a very, very tough feat to do. But they pulled it off pretty damn good. And I think, and it was a big deal because they had the Winter Classic in Miami, you know, a couple weeks prior to it too. So they were doing a lot of hockey outdoors in Florida, which most people seems a little wild in thought. But it can be done, and here's the proof it can be done. Here's the kids right there. These are the guys we met. They just actually texted me the other day. They seen some of the video, and they're the ones that gave me the number of the guy who was able to get them in, which is pretty cool. It's always nice meeting people. Like I said, the area where we were standing was awesome. You know, this Tim McGraw right there. Now this is what part that really pisses me off, the audio thing, because he was playing live. He played phenomenal, and I know the audio was recording because I played the stuff back. I sent clips on. I've shared video on the socials. So if you're follow any of my social media, and I put clips up, you know, at this point. Sometime it was right after. So this game was like February 1st. So anything between February 2nd, 3rd, or 4th was stuff I clipped from this actual show. And it's all there. So and I was gonna go back and try to cherry pick through all that stuff, and I'm like, wouldn't be able to get the quality right, and the video would just be all screwed up and it'd be just more problems than anything else. But thankfully, I saved this video of the whole video as a whole that I put together, because otherwise I would have lost everything and I wouldn't even have a chance to do a voiceover. So it's a process. So it was all uploaded to YouTube. I just got to go and upload it and load the new one in and all this stuff. But it is what it is. I'm just gonna be grateful that I was able to save some of the stuff that's here, at least the video portion of it. And I'm just gonna try to forget about it. I'm gonna try to forget it happened. So that's how I'm feeling right now about this whole situation. So we got a couple more big trips planned coming up, and I am just gonna have to be diligent with producing the video that day, and double checking throughout the course of the day that stuff is in fact recording and audio is being picked up and stuff. And I know this is definitely not the Osmos' fault, because like I said, I knew I had this audio on the video before. I was having a really tough time putting this video together because of the length of it. And now looking back on the whole situation here, I just really should have done 2 separate videos when I produced this together. I would have avoided this issue 100%, because it would have been 2 25-minute videos rather than trying to compile a 53-minute video, and I could have split it right down the middle and made it fine. So you learn a lot from stuff you do, especially when you're working in this media. We've been making videos for a very long time now, and you're still learning. So it doesn't matter, how long you've been doing it for. You will run into situations like this, and you're just gonna be grateful that you still have some of the stuff that you needed. So I'm bumming, but I got the video. There's another video like this on our page from many years ago. I had done a video, and this is why I think it's a YouTube uploading issue, because I did a video years ago and half the audio was lost. And this was almost 20 years to the day this happened to me. It was a video we put up in 2006 on a trip to New York, and the audio and everything was there. I know it was there. I know everything was great. And years later you go to play it back and the audio wasn't there. So I don't know what happened. And that day was a lot hotter because we were using an old camcorder back then, and I had the little tape that you put in there, and you over-record those tapes all the time. So the stuff was definitely not there, and the files were so big, and you didn't have the storage on the computers like you do nowadays. So you were totally deleting stuff. So I wish if I had double-checked this situation on Monday of this week when I was putting this back together and uploading it onto the page, or I just didn't try to rush this onto the page and just took my time, these problems would be resolved. So here's more Tim still playing. He played a good 20, we had a 20-minute intermission. He played about 15 minutes of the intermission. He non-stop. He was just rocking and rolling and having an awesome time, which was pretty cool. I videotaped most of this for my wife, and she's a big Tim McGraw fan, and we were actually, I sent it to her while we were at the game, so she was able to get her Tim McGraw fix and hear the music and everything like that. So the purpose of videotaping him singing and stuff like that served its purpose, which is good, so I can't be upset about that. But it is, like they say, it is what it is, and it is what it is. I was just surprised how long he was playing for. He was really rocking and rolling, which was awesome, and it was cold out. It was probably a big shock to his system. Like, Jesus, why is it so damn cold here in Florida? And I'm sure he played at this stadium many times in the past, and I'm sure every time he played, it was never like this in the environment, And it was really, really cool seeing like 80,000, hockey fans of both teams coming out for this event, and 2 different teams in the sake of like the history and where they came from. Obviously, because Tampa being an expansion team from the 90s, one of 2 teams in Florida are bringing hockey into the Sunshine State, which was never really heard of, but a lot of players like playing in Florida. There's a fan base there. There is, at least for the Lightning. I'm not sure about the Florida Panthers, maybe so much so since they won a couple of championships, but definitely for the Lightning. It's a nice fan base. They a lot of implants from the north down there as well. And so they enjoy the game of hockey. These teams are competitive. Players like to play here because there is no state income tax in the state of Florida. So as a player, you get to keep more of your money too, which is absolutely awesome. So they did it right, putting the team down here and stuff. So I think that there's definitely a future for Florida hockey, maybe a 3rd team, perhaps, with a giant expansion. Whereabouts, it's hard to say because everything's pretty much the 2 major cities that should have teams have them. Orlando, you can make the argument, but is Orlando too close to Tampa? It's 2 hours from Tampa. It's 3.5 hours to Miami. So are you really going to be pushing down there? Is it's going to be overwhelming in the sake of too much? But all right, at this point of the video, I'm walking around. So it's about 3rd period or going into the 3rd period at this point. And I want to go around. I was looking for some souvenirs to grab the kids for the events, which I usually do when I go away without them. And when it came to the line for it, the line was ridiculous. It was around the stadium a couple times. And, it was almost like when we went to the Raceway Classic for the baseball game. Everything was picked over and pretty much gone by the time I got up there anyway. So I was able to order some cool pucks from the day. So I grabbed a couple of those and they just got mailed to me instead of actually just grabbing them at the game. And I know it's not the same, but it kind of gives them a memory of going there. And, thankfully I have the video, obviously, that we're looking at right now. I just do a voiceover and I have tons of time. So, this is when the goalies fought too. The goalies got in a little fist fight too at this point. Not to mention the Bruins blew this game as well. This was a game which, 10 seconds into the game, Tampa scores 1-0. And then the Bruins come back and score 5 unanswered goals? They were up 5-1 at one point. And they were killing it. And in the last period, unbeknownst how this even happened, the Lightning came back, tied the game up, and forced an overtime, in which maybe it was a bad call in overtime on the Bruins. That should have been a goal. I think they called it offsides or something like that. But, I'm kind of foreshadowing a little bit right now. But it is pretty shocking that they lost the game in overtime. This is when the goalies are fighting. Okay. Yeah, okay, this is when they're coming to it. You never see a goalie fight, but I guess goalies have to fight each other. There we are right there. And I'm look at that crappy view. I should have been videotaping the big screen of the fight because you really can't see crap right now. But this is the 2 goalies of the 2 teams just going at it in mid-ice, having a crazy wild time in hockey. I mean, this had everything. Now, maybe it was scripted. Maybe this was all prearranged, to really get the crowd into it or like that. But, at the end of the day, you can't blow a 5-1 lead going into the 3rd period. That's just redonkulous. And the Bruins managed to somehow do that. And maybe that takes the goalie getting into a fight to keep people into it a little bit, but it was pretty cool. It was nothing I've ever seen live before. So I'm trying to get my bearings on where I was at this point. Was I still walking around? Maybe I wasn't with Eric when I seen the goalie fight. Now I'm walking back towards where I originally stood. So I think I was on the other side of the stadium over where the pirate ship was initially. Or am I? No, I'm approaching the pirate ship right now. Okay, so this is when I was looking for the souvenir stuff and walking around. So I'm on the completely opposite side of where we were sitting for the majority of the game. And kind of just getting my bearings and doing a little tour of the stadium and stuff like this. And this area is cool over here. It's very similar to the other M zone. It has like an area where you can go and, you know, there's the bathrooms and a bunch of places to drink and stuff like this. And it's very easy to get a drink at the stadium. You don't have to wait very long. They have plenty of concessions, plenty of bathrooms. I mean, for a stadium, it was built in the late 80s. Well designed, a little dated. It's kind of hard to believe they actually have Super Bowls here, but I mean, that goes nothing against the stadium itself. It's a almost 40-year-old stadium, but they still bring the party. You know, it's a great time. And I've seen a football game here and now a hockey game there. Both situations were pretty cool. Never an NFL game, just a college game for football. But nevertheless, it's still football and it was still a good environment. It just gets hot there to watch football in the fall. I was there the last weekend in September watching a 12 o'clock University of Southern Florida game, and it was like 100 degrees. It was unbearable. So I spent a lot of my time just doing what I'm doing right now, walking around the stadium trying to chase shade, and that's about all I could do. So sometimes that's all you can do in a situation like this, you know. So it is what it is. I know this is probably boring, just watching the stadium and listening to me talk about the game, and the game was so much fun. And the sound effects of the game would have been probably a little more enjoyable than hearing my voice here on a Friday afternoon after discovering that all the stuff that I recorded was pretty much gone, you know. Well, at least the audio portion of it. And I guess it's not a total loss, because when I originally was planning on putting this video together, I was going to try to get the guys together and we were all going to sit around and kind of do a like a Q&A of our experience at the game and talk about some of the cool things that we did. And the night before was more of the group bonding experience that we did when we were at the cigar shop and we were walking around Ybor City and some of the areas. So that was some of the stuff that you really needed the audio for, because it was, you know, conversations and stuff like this. This stuff is just, you know, watching the game, seeing how the stadium's constructed and all that stuff. So it wasn't as crucial as it may be to have you know, the amount of actual audio from the experience put together and stuff, you know. And, you know, sometimes less is more, but what are you gonna do? I can't believe I'm still at this. Is a lot of video of the game here, and there's no sign of when this game is ending, to be honest with you. I think we're at an intermission right now. We could be at this point still plenty of game. I lose track of everything. I can't really tell what time we were at places and stuff, and it was just getting cold. And at some point, those the kids we met again. Good kids right there. Good guys. They were a good time to hang out with. Oh, this is when we're going to overtime. Okay, yes. So this is the Lightning just scored, going to overtime, and didn't have a really good feeling going into this this OT after, you know, you blew 5 goals. You know, the nice solid lead you had. You thought you were going to walk out of this thing, and then here we are, you know. I think this is when we thought the Bruins scored, and they called the goal back, which is very controversial, if you will. But at the same time, it's I don't think you deserve to win a game that you blew a lead that much to, you know. So maybe that's the situation right there. Who knows? What can you say? What can you do? It is one of those things that you look back on and you say, yeah, well, there you go. Kind of goofy, you know? But yeah, I'm still trying to go through some of the video, if I have any, on my computer right now, to see if we saved anything, and it doesn't look promising. It looks like it's all it was all gone. We just get the pitches left, you know, which you'll see at the end of this video. I usually do a little montage of the pitches and all that good stuff. So I think this is about when we're about to lose the game. Yeah, see, it's 5-5 overtime right now. And this would have been an epic win. It would have been a little, you know, it just would have been better if they just won in regulation too. And it was just going, you know, as we put this together right now, it's the break for the Olympics, and we could have easily, you know, had a lot of good momentum going into the break right now. And as it stands right now, in the current situation, the Bruins lost a couple crucial games they should have won going into the break, and it's kind of, you know, playoff hopes right now are kind of 50-50 right now. Here I am not knowing how to use a camera, and not quite sure what we're doing right now or who I'm filming. I think I'm trying to film Eric, but I don't even think the camera's on. I don't even think I know the camera's on. Here I am just walking with it. Yeah, here we go. You want to go for a walk? We're going for a little walk. And you see a POV of what like a 3-foot tall person would see walking through the stadium. Now it's completely darkness. Yeah, this is also a result of someone who's been enjoying a couple beverages all day and not paying attention to exactly what they were doing. So that could be a little bit issue. They had nothing to do with the video issue, though. I'll tell you that much. That is definitely not the issue. Of the audio of the video. That is definitely a upload issue I had. There's our friends again from Florida. Next time we go down there, we gotta hit these guys up and go for a couple of drinks with them because they were a good time. I think we lost the game at this point. I think we've kind of acknowledged that the game has been lost, and gonna try to figure out what we're gonna do now, which was pretty simple. We're just gonna go to a bar and hang out for the most part, which is the easiest thing to do. There's a little long walk back. You know, you do your new walk. Everyone's kind of bummed out that you just lost the game, and everyone's had this feeling before leaving arenas, you know. And yeah, it sucked, but you know, it wasn't like a playoff game or anything like that, and it wasn't like a crucial game to continue, you know, the seasons or anything like that. It was just an unfortunate loss at a really cool event that at the end of the day we can just look back on. And here we are at Miller's Tavern. Was this go-to spot, this bar that was down the street from the arena. I discovered this when I went down for spring training last March, and it was a great location. I was able just to kind of shoot over and go to the game afterwards, and then we used it as a kind of another point of reference for the game. That's where we met back up with Joe. So me and Joe went to this other place. It was called the Press Box. Now we found out about this little divey bar about 20 minutes away from where we were, from the bartender at World of Beers when we were hanging out there as our go-to spot. So we've seen the same bartender 2 days in a row. So we go, what would you drink? And here's me bullshitting. You can see my video on Instagram of the actual audio of me hyping this place up. It had troughs. It was an authentic, cool place. It was, you know, you're not eating at this place, but you're definitely having some drinks and bottled beverages and stuff. And I'm really, really hyping this place up. I was very excited about this experience. I'm a big dive bar guy. You know, I do enjoy a dive bar or two, and it's also cool to see like where the locals drink, right? Because you like it's cool to like go like these chain places. And where we were staying, where our hotel was, we're filled with chain restaurants. So here's the next day. All right, so this is the last day of the trip, and basically we have to say our goodbyes. And we had different flights. Me and Eric were flying out at later on that night. We had like I think a 4 o'clock flight. They were connecting up in Detroit, and then we were gonna be home. But we were gonna get home at the same time Joe's leaving. He was flying more direct, and all our flights got delayed and screwed up, and we basically you'll find out at some point. But me and Eric don't exactly make it back home to Boston that night. And it was just a combination of several things. I think the flights were delayed during that day a bit, and crews were getting to the point where they were starting to time out and stuff. So the flight that we were originally on We made it to Detroit, no issue, but the connection was delayed a few hours. So we ended up just opting out and say, hey, you know what? Let's just stay the night here, and we'll call it what it is. Why, chance us A, being stuck at the airport all night, not getting some sleep, and B, missing it all together, and then have to, everyone else is looking for a hotel while we're looking for a hotel, and it just made more sense to stay with it. They put us on, they didn't charge us anything for the next day to fly out, so we took the first flight back. It's us in the lounge right now looking at the delay that continued over and over and over again, and we kind of messed up in the Delta lounge too. We took one of the ones that closed early. There's a earlier state one because I guess we could have stayed there a little bit longer, but by the time we got down to our gate and all that stuff, we realized that, like, yeah, maybe this is just it. We're just gonna, bounce. So we're making phone calls at home, making arrangements for the next day and stuff, and it wasn't a big deal. We got home by 8 o'clock in the morning the next day, so it wasn't really a loss of a day. So at the end of the day, we were fine. Sometimes this happens when you travel. You just never know. It's a big, giant, rolling the dice. Especially in the wintertime, you just can't predict the weather. You don't know what you're gonna get. And here we go. This is what we got. We got snowing and stuff too. So I think that delayed the day. So it wasn't really snowing bad, but it was like flurries and everything. It was just an overall bad weather in the entire country, or at least east of Mississippi. So we were getting directly affected by it, and it is what it is. What are you gonna do? You just gotta make the best of it, and that's the one thing I always say when you travel is, when you travel, you have to assume that there is gonna be some kind of situation that's gonna happen, and when it does, you just make the best of the situation. You can't. There's a lot of things you can't control. Something like this video, I can't control that. I didn't double check the audio was there. And then there's some things you can control. So you just control the stuff you can control, and the stuff you can't control, you just roll off the punches. And this airport's huge, by the way. If you haven't been to the Detroit airport, especially the Delta terminal, it is huge. I mean, it is so big they have a train that runs the whole length of the terminal, because I think there's like 40-something gates or something. It could be more than that, maybe. And it says it takes approximately like a half hour to walk from one side to another. So this is a little like express train that kind of shoots off and sends you where you got to go, which is pretty cool. We had all the time in the world to kill, so we weren't really in any rush to take the train, but it's available. So if you're in a tight little window and you need to get to your flight and you're running a little behind, jump on the old inner terminal train, and it'll take you exactly where you need to go with no problem at all. And here we are leaving the airport. We had just booked a hotel at this point, and we were staying at a hotel down the street, and there was a shuttle that was going to pick us up. So it was late at this point. I think it was like around 11 o'clock. I think we actually got into the room at midnight, and actually no, it's maybe around 10 o'clock. We got into the room around 11 because we did get a decent sleep. We had to be downstairs at 4:30 to grab the shuttle to assure that we get to the airport with no problem, get home and stuff, because we didn't want to miss the flight back. We had nothing to do the next day. I would just literally took my time getting back home, but we had to get home. We had some stuff to do, and it is what it is. This is the next morning right here. So now we're downstairs. It's 4:30. We are waiting for the shuttle to take us back to the Detroit airport so we could fly home. And here we are. This looks like we are. It's dark out, so I'm assuming we're still in Detroit. Okay, this is the next morning. It's the next day. So we landed. I'm home now. We're in the car. We didn't really record much between flying back that morning. We were kind of just, just wanted to get home and get it over with. But I'm just kind of recapping the trip right now. Everything worked out pretty good. So I'm happy. Had they didn't charge me for an extra day for the parking, which was good, because I guess I had an extra few hours on it, because I was picking it up so late, or I guess just early morning. I was due to pick up the car at 2, 1 o'clock in the morning, so they already charged you for another day. So it worked out good. So I didn't get charged any extra for it. So overall cost, it didn't cost me nothing. So that was about an hour late for work that day. I made up the time. So that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed watching, and see you guys soon.